Konbanwa. I always think that generosity is very important factor when we have a discussion with each other. It doesn't mean that you take an attitude to give up pursuing the problem a person has with opposite opinions to yours because you want to show your mercy to him or her during discussion. So generosity on discussion, which I'm talking about here, is that you should find a certain reasonability and rationality from the opinions which are totally opposite to yours when you firstly put yourself in someone's shoe having opposite opinions to yours. So you may think it's pretty natural thing that we always keep in mind before having a discussion with each other as one of the obvious manners of discussion for us. But you don't know it's not that easy, and you don't know how many people take issues on discussion personally and completely deny opposite opinions with no mercy. So before we know it, discussion tends to escalate into arguing that allows people to do personal attack in order for them to stubbornly insist on justification of their opinion, in the sense that opposite opinions are all injustice and wrong. So this is not discussion anyways. This is ugly argument or quarrel. So you may not really take the possibility of falling into such a situation during discussion, but this happens a lot to us. So it goes without saying that discussion is something like participants find one or multiple conclusions from aggregations of opinions accumulated through discussion while repeating denial and approval over the issues that mutually have towards one goal of discussion in this process. And in the process of giving reaction to mutual opinions in the form of approval and denial, constructiveness of discussion normally requires us to recognize diversity of opinions regardless of whether we can accept it or not from our viewpoint. So when you want to understand others' way of thinking, just use your imagination to consider the case like if I were him, where would be the point I would want to assert in this case? Like make hypothesis like his strong point of the opinion that he want to insist on in front of everyone is something like this. And when I compare my opinion with his opinion, this part of my opinion may make up for the shortcoming of his opinion, so I'm going to talk on this issue. Or this part of his opinion is not acceptable to me, so I'm going to talk on my reasonable theory considering his opinion, or something like that. So speaking conclusion, at least I think having generosity to others and having sympathy to others and respecting others' opinion are the necessary factors in the discussion, in the sense that you can truly understand what a person with opposite opinions think about in order to avoid mutual unreasonable misunderstanding and mutual unreasonable contradictive understanding that will bring unnecessary ugly arguing far from discussion. So I believe this will bring constructiveness in discussion. So many times I've ever seen a lot of people criticizing others reflexively before understanding what they actually thought about. And in many cases, criticizers were just missing the point of what an advocate actually meant from misunderstanding, because they tended to place absolute trust in their theory and develop an exclusive attitude to other opinions. And there is also the case like criticizers were just making an example of superficial contradiction on choices of words and expressions about the opinions without having an attitude to understand advocates' real intention about the issues, and repeating criticizing annoyingly about the things having nothing to do with main subject. So making effort to understand opposite opinion is very important first single step of criticism and objection that makes you analyze to find out reasonability from a position and rethink hints that may improve your hypothesis on the issue that you may have. So I believe this is a very important factor when this is a very important way of thinking when you want to have constructive discussion with others.